After a tough day on the recruiting trail for Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs on Tuesday, the Dogs bounced back in a big way tonight, landing four-star linebacker Nick Abrams, one of the top linebackers on their board, and he gives Georgia their second linebacker commitment in the 2026 class. Now, I know everyone wants to talk about Tyler Atkinson, James Johnson, two Georgia, guys, one committed, one uncommitted, who chose Texas over Georgia yesterday. All of my thoughts are over on dawgpost.com, so make sure you're going to read that. I talk about the state of college football recruiting, why money matters for a lot of guys, and why committing to Texas over Georgia is different than committing to Miami over Georgia. So I share all of my thoughts over on Dawg Post. So if you're asking what happened there, why is Georgia losing to guys to Texas, why a top in-state five-star linebacker decided to spurn Georgia for the Longhorns, all of my thoughts are over there. But this video is about Nick Abrams, okay? This is a guy who wants to be at Georgia. This is a guy that shows relationships over everything else. And that's what Kirby Smart talked about during SEC Media Days. He talked about that, at Georgia, they sell relationships over transactions. And he knew that the news was coming about Tyler Atkinson, and he knew James Johnson was on his way to flipping from Georgia. But they got a guy today that they wanted badly. Make no mistake. Is he as good as Tyler Atkinson? No, okay? He's not. But this is a really good player, 6'2", 220 pounds, who turned 17 years old tonight, and he chose Georgia over Oregon, I believe Alabama, and Michigan was the other one. This is a guy that I believe Georgia offered in January. They really turned up the heat on him, and there's a lot to like about his game. Now, I was looking at his ranking to make sure I had it correct over on dawgpost.com, and you can read the story. We've got a full breakdown, film review, what he brings to Georgia, why he committed to Georgia. I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but his ranking, for whatever reason, dropped. He is now ranked as the number 19 linebacker, number 294 overall. So we're talking about a top 20 linebacker in the country and a top 300 prospect, okay? He's not top 10. He's not number one like Tyler Atkinson was. But again, I thought Georgia was in a prime position to land that young man. But it doesn't matter. My thoughts are over on Dawg Post. Nick Abrams is a really good player. As a junior last year, made 77 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, 4 sacks, 1 interception, 1 block punt. He's got the physical tools, again, 6'2", 220, long wingspan. I think he's got an 83-inch wingspan. Runs really well, claims a 4.57, I believe, in the 40-yard dash. So this is a kid with size, speed, instincts, and playmaking ability. He hits hard, he tackles behind his pads, takes a great angle to the ball carrier, can get sideline to sideline and chase down the running back, but it can also help in the blitz game and attack the quarterback. So when you turn on the film that you can watch over on Dawg Post, it's easy to see why George and Glenn Schumann really, really like this young man after a outstanding junior season. I don't know why his ranking dropped a little bit. I think it's really odd how many times they update the rankings in the offseason when no high school film has been released, right? He was the player he was in the fall as he is now. Probably better than he was. So it's hard for me to, wrap my mind around linebackers moving ahead of him in the rankings when they haven't played a single down of high school football since the rank. It doesn't matter. Clicks are clicks. You got to have them. You have to update the rankings. You have to keep folks interested in clicking on the website. I get all that, but this is a good player. I don't care what his ranking is, and Glenn Schumann doesn't care either. So he was one of their top guys. Shadarius Tootle, a guy they have on the commit list, was someone they wanted badly. They flipped him from Auburn. Obviously, Tyler Atkinson was the big prize. Missed out on him, but Nick Abrams was on that list of guys that they wanted too. So 2 out-of-state guys on the commit list right now, 4-star Shadarius Tootle, 4-star Nick Abrams. As far as who could be next, because Georgia does want to take 3 linebackers in this class. That's been the plan the entire time from what I've gathered. Make sure you head over to Dawg Post. I'm going to write that story probably very soon. So make sure you're on the website to read the latest on Georgia's next, possible target and next option at linebacker. Now, I do think they're still going to reach out to Tyler Atkinson, try to get him on campus for a game day. They're not going to let up there, even though it appears that the NIL offer from Texas, I haven't confirmed what exactly it was. I don't know the exact number. I know it was bigger than Georgia's. So we'll see if things change and Georgia comes back with a bigger offer or whatever. But that's not what they want to do. And I've wrote about this. Again, you can read it over on Dawg Post that Kirby Smart doesn't want to adjust how he recruits. Texas, Miami, Texas Tech, those teams are desperate for a winner, right? Texas hasn't won a national championship in 19 years. It's been even longer for Miami. So I say out of control spending, it's not out of control to them. It's worth the risk for over-the-top spending on high school prospects, whereas Kirby Smart's got 2 national championships in his back pocket. He doesn't want to change or adapt to their spending, right? They're going to spend NIL dollars and use resources there. That's the game, and they've used NIL in a big way to land some big-time prospects. But a lot of guys will take a Bulldog discount and leave money on the table to go to Georgia. But, of course, that's not always the case, even for talented 5-star in-state guys. So, again, I don't know what the number was that Georgia offered James Johnson, Jackson Cantwell, Tyler Atkinson, but I know that they were outbid for all those guys. And that's just how it is. I say, don't hate the player, hate the game. Because I know Tyler Atkinson well. He's a great kid. And, I get committing to Texas. They're a premier program. But then, I don't understand, the Miami part of it. But again, Nick Abrams. Let's get back to Nick Abrams. This guy wants to be developed. This guy wants to be at Georgia. He loves the culture. He wants to be pushed hard. I'm not saying the other guys don't, but Nick Abrams jumped on board because he knows that he can be developed at Georgia more than anywhere else. His dreams are to play in the NFL, and here's why. He gave me some great quotes on why he picked Georgia. He said, quote, "They're elite at football and elite in the classroom. Coach Schumann is putting guys in the league. He's great at putting guys in the league. He has 3 Buckus Award winners at the age of 35, which is insane. The atmosphere that Coach Smart is creating is something I wanted to be part of. He's a great coach, and he'll give it to you straight. That's the type of coach that I saw myself playing for." He said their pitch was pretty simple. You come here to get developed as a football player and as a man. You have the highest chance out of any school in the past 3 years to hear your name called on draft night. You'll also get a degree from a top 20 university in the country. He went on. He expanded even more on why he chose Georgia. Okay, this kid loves Georgia. Kirby Smart, Glenn Schumann. He couldn't wait to jump on board. Had to wait till his 17th birthday, but it's easy to see why he wanted to be part of this Georgia program. He said, "Georgia's special to me because they met the 3 things that I wanted in a school. They were transparent and have a family atmosphere. They put guys in the NFL and have connections that will set you up for life." So this is more than football for Nick Abrams. He's come to Georgia because he knows he can, become a better football player, a better man, and he knows at a place like Georgia, he'll be set up with great connections and a life after football. And I'll tell you what, this is a mature young man. He's got a great head on his shoulders, and he knows that this is a business decision to play at Georgia. And he knows that Georgia is going to get the most out of him. That's what I'm trying to say. And he brings a lot of potential. Again, he's got physical tools. He's got great instincts. His best football, though, is still way ahead of him. And if he comes to Georgia and gets developed properly and continues to perfect his craft, there's no reason why he can't have a really, really successful career in Athens playing for the best linebackers coach and arguably the best defensive coordinator in college football. And a guy that has produced 3 Buckus Award winners. Nick Abrams saying, hey, I want to play for that guy. I see his resume and I want to be part of that. I want to be the next linebacker up. So out-of-state guy, he saw what the Georgia Bulldogs are doing and he jumped on the opportunity. There's no doubt about it. So Georgia picks up a big commitment today. And listen, Oregon wanted this guy. Michigan wanted this guy. Who was the other? Alabama wanted him, right? And he could have picked any of those places. And instead, he picked Georgia. So, he doesn't have 5 stars next to his name. I don't think he's as good as Tyler Atkinson, who I've been raving about for years. I'm not backing off that. But this is a really talented kid and a really nice pickup for Glenn Schumann and the Dogs, and they rebounded nice. This is not a replacement for Tyler Atkinson because they wanted this guy the whole time. Even if Tyler Atkinson did choose Georgia, they wanted Nick Abrams in a bad way, and today they landed him. So big-time pickup. Another out-of-state guy saying, hey, those Georgia Bulldogs, they know what they're doing down there. I know I can be developed there better than anywhere else. I'm jumping on board. So 4-star linebacker Nick Abrams, a kid out of Maryland, committing to Georgia today over Alabama, Michigan, and Oregon, giving Georgia their second linebacker commitment in this class. Where does Georgia go from here? Make sure you head over to dawgpost.com sooner than later for the details. You can watch highlights and, again, read a full breakdown of Georgia's newest commitment over on dawgpost.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you over on the website.